Hi, my name is Emily Medill. I'm here with my weekly video where I read aloud my featured article. The article is around themes to remember the good, to feel your best, and to reset as needed. This week's featured article is a brand new one that I've just written. You can find it up on my website, emilymedill.com, or you can find it up on thriveglobal.com. It's called How to Use the Art of Detachment to Stop Taking Things Personally. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. A quote by Mahatma Gandhi. Truer words were never spoken, but applying Gandhi's wise reflection is the obvious challenge. The ego is fragile. Rather than processing our triggers and emotions in a healthy way, our ego can be quick to create elaborate tales that keep us stuck in our wounded stories. Our wounded stories become our truths, false truths that prompt us to take too much to heart. I would describe myself as sensitive and, for the most part, empathic. Throughout my life, I have felt offended, hurt, and misunderstood by others more times than I can count. Thankfully, at some point, I decided that my sense of worth was not up for grabs, not by anyone but myself. But it's not easy to navigate a path toward owning and nurturing one's light. From a young age, we are programmed to fit in at all costs. Our desire to belong can be so strong that we even turn our back on ourselves, making us open game for others to define. And allowing others, even the most well-intentioned friends and family, to define who we are will never feel true. Let's not even delve into what it looks and feels like to hand over our power to those who don't have our best interest at heart. As research professor Brené Brown eloquently shares in Braving the Wilderness, The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone, true belonging and self-worth are not goods. We don't negotiate their value with the world. The truth about who we are lives in our hearts. Our call to courage is to protect our wild heart against constant evaluation, especially our own. No one belongs here more than you. The practice of protecting your wild heart is both uncomfortable and liberating. One way to quiet the noise and hear your own wisdom and truth is to stop taking everything personally, to stop allowing the opinions of others to cloud your judgment and view of yourself. If that feels like a stretch, I get it. Here are a few ways I use the art of detachment to stop taking things personally, especially when I feel triggered. If they resonate with you, give them a try. Practice compassion. When other people attack, blame, or give their unsolicited opinions, it can be very triggering. Instead of being reactive and adding fuel to the fire, find compassion. We don't know what other people are going through. Each of us has a private world that nobody can begin to fully understand. Yet we are all walking a human journey. Sometimes it's tough to feel compassionate towards others, but having compassion doesn't mean you must abandon yourself or your emotions. It's not about excusing others' bad behavior. Allow yourself to feel your emotions and process them. That's your act of self-compassion. Then detach. Avoid reacting and taking things personally by remembering that those who lash out are fueled by their own unresolved wounds. Don't get swept up in their turmoil. Find the point of least resistance through compassion. Be compassionate to yourself and be compassionate to others. Don't take untruths to heart. Honor your worth. Number 2, own your position as narrator. Narrating your inner world can be a fun job, but it's one that sometimes needs harnessing and redirecting. Our inner voice can be critical. It can twist and turn things until we feel bad about ourselves. This is the case when we feel triggered by something someone else says or does. Even when they aren't ill-intentioned, our inner narrator may distort their words or actions so that we believe we are under attack. The result leaves us feeling wounded or ashamed. Owning your position as narrator means questioning often the stories running through your mind. Byron Katie, an American speaker and author who teaches a method known as The Work, poses 4 simple questions of self-inquiry to open your mind and expand your perspective. They can help sort out if it's worth it to take something personal in the first place. The 4 questions are, number 1, is it true? Number 2, can you absolutely know that it's true? Number 3, how do you react when you believe that thought? And number 4, who would you be without that thought? The best part about being the narrator of our lives is using how we feel to indicate the tone of thoughts we give life to. If we are beating up on ourselves, we'll feel uneasy and insecure. We can use these feelings as our cue to question and redirect our narrative in a way that is kinder to ourselves and others. We can look for evidence to feed this new story and free ourselves from taking things personally. If it feels good, we are on the right track. If it doesn't, we can pause and find out why. And finally, number 3, rise above the chaos. Pardon me. What is your intuition asking you to honor? Surely it's not to take to heart messages that cause hurt or upheaval in your life. Instead of giving into the fiery urge to retaliate, to hurt someone you feel hurt by, don't. Rise above it instead. Detach from the cycle of drama and see how that feels. Psychotherapist Hilary Jacobs Hendel, who is known for her work on emotions, shares a downloadable resource on her website that explains detaching with love and open-heartedness. In it, she states, detachment means I should not try to change or blame another, but instead make the most and best of myself. This beautiful directive is one worth receiving. Instead of getting caught up in what other people are thinking or proving them wrong or right, put your energy into yourself. Be curious about your triggers. They can teach you about yourself. Allow yourself lots of space and grace to feel and process all of your emotions. Be the narrator who tells yourself stories about why you are worthy as you are. Give yourself loads of compassion, so much that it spills over to others too. You are the one who can choose to rise above the chaos in order to honor and protect your wild heart. Rise on. So that is the featured article this week, How to Use Art of Detachment to Stop Taking Things Personally. And again, you can find it if you want to have a read through or share it with someone who might benefit from the read. It's up on my website, emilymadel.com. It's also up on thriveglobal.com. I'll include links to the article below, as well as to how you can sign up for my weekly happiness notes that share articles and videos like these, just simple strategies for remembering the good, feeling your best, and resetting as needed. And I'll also share links to 2 featured resources, both books that I've written. One's a planner, A Heart-Centered Feminine Way to Organize Your Time. It helps you to step by step, day by day, to incorporate healthy habits that involve self-care and just putting yourself as a priority, and just setting those healthy boundaries and just putting those healthy habits into action one day and 1 week at a time. The other resource is called Fall in Love with Your Life 1 Week at a Time. It's a journal style book that you can write right inside with a weekly topic. There's pictures throughout. And this is all about just putting into play a simple mindfulness type practice where you are reflecting often and just building that relationship and connection that you have with yourself on a regular basis, making that a habit, making that a priority, and just doing it in a gentle way. 1 day and 1 week at a time. So I'm going to share links to those resources. I hope that this article was helpful. I always share them out just with that intention of sharing a little bit of light and a little bit of hope, and just sort of planting that seed of something that you likely already know about, but just as that little reminder of hope. Hope it's helpful, and have a wonderful week. Thank you.